Good evening, sir.
Good
Am I
evening. How are
am
you?
I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Uh, all right. So we shall begin with the introduction first, and let me introduce myself. I am Shivani Nair, and I'm a part of Judicial Mascots. And Judicial Mascots is an online portal dedicated to contributing to the legal fraternity, and it's a one-stop solution for all the legal issues such as curated list of bare ads, spreading legal knowledge, and providing legal internships to law students. Through this portal, a maiden step in the direction of right to education has been initiated, and we provide access to legal news, law articles, summary of legal cases, blogs, etc. With that being said, I'd like to introduce you to our people, the ones who would be viewing us. So, Manu Sharma sir has been continuously putting efforts to achieve new heights. He holds a BTech degree in computer science and holds an LLB as well. He has experience across IP services including patent, trademarks, monetization of IP assets, and IP litigation. With that being said, you have started a firm which is Arnais Associates, which leaves no stone unturned to meet their clients' expectations. By using best in class tools and techniques, Arnais Associates not only is able to satisfy the needs of the clients, but are also able to create a strong and meaningful relationship with them. The company's passion to be a front runner when it comes to innovation and technology adaptation has also helped them to stand out from the rest of their competitors. This, even though they had faced a lot of challenges, especially during the initial days, Arnais Associates has been consistent with the quality of their work, and this has helped them not just to create but also maintain an impressive clientele. Also, the fact that many of their clients find them through referrals acts as a testament that showcases how good their quality is. So, sir, with that, we shall move on to the interview questions that we have for the law students who will be viewing us. Right, sir. So we begin with the first question. That is a basic question that comes across in all of our minds as legal persons. What? Why did you choose to continue in law despite being an engineer in computer science? So why did you decide that you wanted to get into this field of law?
First of all, thanks for the good introduction that you have given for me and my company. And regarding my interest, actually, I was doing my engineering. And the last year, I came to know about this particular field when I was searching on the internet regarding the what step that I will be taking in future. So I came across intellectual property, and in the last semester, we were having copyright as a topic, and I did a presentation in copyright in Europe. And based on it, it generated a little bit of interest, and I keep on going through the internet knowledge that was available at that time, and I generated an interest about it. So then I came to know that it will be beneficial for me if I do a law graduation after doing my BTech. So many times people have asked me why you chose to be different fields. That's two different part of you word are there. So, but instead I tell them there is always something that's connected between them. So that's why after completing my engineering, so I decided to do my law so that I can give more efforts and knowledge in this particular field. And it's a vast area that I came to know about it at the right time in my career life. So this
Right.
and it always inspired me. Talking about new technology and this particular field give me the thing that I wanted in, and that's about talking about new technology, getting to know about the new technology, and helping client also. So it's my wish also that I am working in this particular field, and I'm very thankful for it. Yeah.
That is wonderful. What do you think is the link between BTech and law that you have managed to connect? Because as you said, they are from you're from two different fields. So what link is it that you think is necessary in both BTech and law that is a common ground in both of them?
See, if you talk about technology, there is new invention that are coming up, and it's very much important that each and everything should be protected. So this particular field that I've selected is intellectual property rights. So it connects regarding the technological advancement that are happening to the legal advancement that you need to protect each and everything which is has their own knowledge base and which can generate revenue for a company or any startup is having their own invention that they have invented. So that needs to be protected, and this is the main basic connection between the two. The technology is there, and it needs to be protected so that revenue can be generated by any company or any individual. So this is a basic connection that is there.
Right, sir. So, did you have any mentors when you started out in this field of law and especially in the field of intellectual property rights? Did you have any mentors who decided to guide you when you decided to choose this field? Who would you look up to?
See, when I started looking up on the internet regarding this particular field, I don't have any mentors. I did my own research. I started applying for the internship. I will suggest everyone, if you are interested in any field, just start throwing your resume each and everywhere. You will surely receive a reply from any of the company that will be surely will be able to hire you as an intern, and there you will receive one of the mentor if you are receiving them. And that's how I received my mentor. And during my internship, I've done 3 or 4 internships in this particular field only during my law graduation. So there I have met many mentors who have taught me many different aspects of this particular field, and I'm very thankful for them. So I don't have any particular mentor, but yes, there are many people that have guided me, and I've asked for guidance from them. So that's how I have developed my interest in working in this field.
Right, sir. Could you tell us how did you manage to set up your own firm that is Arnais Associates? That is such a good name right now. So, how did you decide to set it up? What did you think of when you started your transition from joining as an employee to becoming an employer in itself?
Yes, that's a very good question. Actually, when I was doing my working in a law firm and an individual service company firm, I came across many issues that were faced by specific individuals or an inventor. Even education institution were there as a client in other firm. So they were facing a lot of issue, which gave me a boost up that I should help them so that it will be easier for them to get their invention patented and get it, their intellectual property should be saved. This is the first motive that I received, and having a conversation, and I've received many feedback from my clients that you have very good inspirational skills, and you can easily mentor anyone. So you should have your own firm, which also helped me in this particular direction, and that's how I think of starting my own firm. And now it's going very good. So that's thanks to those people who have appreciated me during my college time and graduation time and in my colleague phase, my first working hours. So they have really helped me in this particular taking this particular step in my life. And it has always been a good thing to have people around you. It's just about the people that you are around you that help, that will be there. So, yeah.
Definitely, sir. Your major area of work is, as you stated, intellectual property rights. Could you tell us a bit more in brief what exactly intellectual property rights mean?
The intellectual property rights, so it specifically says about intellectual, that's related to the mind. Property means that it's anything which is created through the mind or anything which is invented through, which is not a tangible asset. So it is purely intangible that you cannot touch or feel. That's show purely on the intellectual level which has been created is related to the intellectual property. So intellectual property rights, so they talk about how you can have those rights similar to the property rights, but little different that it creates is that it's created through your mind. So this is how the intellectual property rights. If we talk about intellectual property, we have patents, trademark, design, copyrights. So these are different intellectual property which is can be patented, and can get those rights for you. So yeah, patent. If we talk about patent, so that's about technological inventions that are there, which should be new and novel. And trademark, it's particularly related to a company or an individual having their own brand name. Copyright, if we talk about, it's related to artistic work or any literature work that is there. So these are different intellectual property which needs to be protected. So this has just helped you to protect your own property that you have created.
Right, sir. So why do you think this area of law, that is intellectual property rights, is an important part in the legal sphere? Why exactly do you think? What is your opinion on it, and how important it is to know about what intellectual property rights mean?
Yeah, so in this, I will say that you will have seen many startups are coming up, many new companies are forming on each and every day. If you look into this, so they are, whenever a company is formatted in the initial state, they are having their own intellectual property, but and that which needs to be protected. But they don't know about this, that they are creating intellectual property, which is a drawback for us. But if even a single firm which has been created always have an intellect property from the initial state. Even a company name is also an intellectual property, and it needs to be protected. And from the legal point of view, if you're not protecting your own brand that you are creating, and your own company name is not protected, then it can be misused by any other company. So if, say, startups are coming up daily, new startups are forming, but other startups are picking up their similar names are there. And even in the new technology domain, if you are coming, few individuals are working on a research work, and they are publishing their own work. After the publication, this has been taken by some other person, so they cannot take action. Action can be taken after, legal action can be taken when they have already taken protection for their particular invention. So that's connects the legal point of view is there, that if anything is created, even if you property, any kind of property is there, it need to be protected. If you are not protecting it, then it will be misused by any other person. So that's how area, this particular area of law is connected. So from point of view, yeah.
Right, sir. Based on your startup, why did you decide to choose the name that you have chosen right now, that is Arnais Associates? How did you come up with this name?
This particular name, actually, I was searching on the internet for a different name. Actually, if you see, mainly law firms are rated to their surname. So Sharma and
Yes, yes.
Sama Singh and Associates. So instead of going those old school, I thought of coming up with a different name. So I searched on Sanskrit scripts. So I am very kind of a Sanskrit literature reader. So I came up this name from there. That's Arnais, which is related to Lord Shiva name. So it's connected to this. Yeah.
Right,
So
sir.
it's a kind of a very different, but yeah, it's really good for us. Yeah.
Also, a special intellectual property on your own
Yes,
side.
that's also, you have created your own intellectual property. That's earnest.
So, what are some of the challenges that you have come across in this field while you were practicing in this field of IPR?
See, the basic challenges during my life, my career I faced regarding this particular field is that inventors don't have knowledge, and inventors don't have knowledge. Even the company owners don't have knowledge regarding the intellectual property. So there's lack of awareness regarding intellectual property. And if you talk about going to the education institution, lecturer, professors, they are working doing research, but they are not protecting their own intellectual property. They are just publishing their work. So which is, and they don't know about it, so they are not protecting it. And when you are educating someone, then we need to start with the basic regarding how they can work, and carrying out boundaries regarding how they can protect their intellectual property. So that's the initial thing that we face, that lack of awareness is there in particular person and people that are there. So that's how and now we have started giving knowledge. We are making presentation seminars in education institution by making a quiz competition, so we can educate more people regarding this particular issue, and which will also be easier for us, so that to connect with the individual or inventors who are into research work or having their own intellectual property.
Right. So, what are the benefits that one can avail if they have their intellectual property either patented, copyrighted, or trademarked? So, what are the benefits that they can seek from it?
See, the first benefit is regarding the royalty that you receive from my intellectual property when you are protecting it. That is, that if I am an inventor, I have my own company. Basically, what happens that I'm inventing something, then I will be protecting it. If I have protected it, so no one else can use it. And if someone wants to use it, they need to get a license from my end. So this is the basic of how you can generate royalty for your. particular invention or the intellectual property. Apart from this, protecting intellectual property helps in the competitive market. So when you are as a working as a competitor, so if you have your intellectual property protected, then it will create a specific brand, or you can create a specific product of your own, which cannot be marketed by any other company. So you can have a competitiveness in the market. You can offer something new and different product from your own particular research work that is there. And even you can, when you have protected your intellectual property, say you have created any particular invention or product, then you can have a specific marketing campaign for that particular product, which will create a niche regarding your company. So that's is there. Apart from this, if I talk about other benefits, so you can even get a loan on the patent. If you have a particular patent, then you can easily get a loan from banks and all institutions that are providing loan. So these are the basic benefits that you can have.
So one must definitely get their intellectual property patented or copyright or trademark, because it seems like a lot of benefits that people miss out on once they do not have their intellectual property trademarked or patented or copyrighted.
Yes,
So
we have came across. I will surely, sorry to interrupt, but I will give surely an example over here.
yes,
We have a client who came to us that I have done some research work, but it has been patented by someone else. So what he was a professor, so he did a publication, and that publication was cited by a Samsung. If you know that Samsung company has cited
yes.
that particular patent in their invention, so you can say how much research work that this particular professor would have done in this research field. And after that, he didn't take any action regarding their intellectual property, so he did not get it patented. So later, after 3 or 4 years, that particular invention was taken by Samsung, and it has been more new things were invented using that particular invention. So that's how the Samsung took that particular patent. It was a very niche invention, and research work has been done. So if you are not patenting your intellectual property, then you are losing a lot of revenue, of royalty, and even your marketing that you have. So it's very important to protect intellectual property.
Mode, like for example, you talked about the professor. So is there any remedy to it, that even after his research work is not patented, but is there any remedy that he can get it patented right now, supposedly after a few years?
See, the remedy only is if you are an professor or you have done any kind of a publication, you have done your research, you have any kind of publication, you have presented your paper, if you have done in any in event, you have presented it, then the 1 year period is provided by the Indian Patent Office, in which you can, if it is genuine publication that you have done, in that case, you can file for the patent and you can protect your intellectual property. So, office has already provided 1 year for you if you have already given your invention to the public. So after that, you
Right.
cannot do anything about this. Yeah.
Right. So, a lot of young students, even myself included, I had this notion in my mind that IPR is a non litigation field. So, how is it different for someone who wishes to pursue litigation in this field or even arbitration?
See, regarding this particular field, come up with lot of different parts are there. First, it is regarding the filing, which happens in intellectual property offices. After that, it has been filed and you have received your patent, trademark, design, copyright certification. Then comes the legal aspect. That is, you are taking action, stopping the other person who are using your intellectual property. That's come under the litigation part. So it's not that litigation is not there, but in this particular field, litigation work always come up that you can have competitors are there, then there will be counterfeit products will be there. So litigation is always product, and when you are doing litigation in this particular field, you will be learning lot of knowledge is there regarding technical stuff is there. Even though apart from technical, legal knowledge is also provided in this particular field. So yes, so always litigation pursue अगर आप करना, if you want to pursue litigation in this particular field, then you are going to have lot of knowledge in this particular field. Yeah.
Right, sir. So, we've seen that the number of patents filed in India is very low as compared to the patents filed in other countries. Can you elaborate a reason why this must be true, or why the number filed is lower in India as compared to other countries?
Yes. So if we talk about India, first of all, research work is done in India. A lot of research work is being done, but we come from a land which is always interested in giving up to the society. So, partially, we don't feel like patenting their invention. That is the one point I would like to point out over here. That we are always into giving to the society. That's why we don't feel like if I am an inventor, I've created something like let people use this particular invention. So that's the one thing that comes to my mind regarding why the inventions or intellectual property is not patented in India. So some of the inventors came us, they were like, yeah, created this particular invention, but I'm not patenting it because I want society to use this particular invention. So we talk about jugaad. Jugaad even can also be an intellectual property for you, but as a jugaad, we are not protecting it. So we are letting the society use it on its own. So that's why it's very much important to protect. This is the first thing which is lacking in our Indian society. Apart from this, that is awareness regarding the intellectual property. That we are not having knowledge that this particular field is there by which we can protect our intellectual property, and we can stop the counterfeit products or the other company which are using their own name, which your particular brand is being used. So because of these things, and so the filing is reduced. Apart from this, until now the fees for filing and granting patent was a little high, but now government of India is taking initiative to reduce those particular fees. That's we are coming up with Atmanirbhar Bharat. So with that, Indian government is taking new initiatives by which they can reduce. They are taking initiatives so that more and more people can do the research work and go into the filing. And I am sure regarding this that patenting in India will be in high progress after this initiative that has been taken by the Indian government. Yes. So you will
Right.
see a sure increase in the filing in few years. Awareness government is also providing awareness regarding this. Incubation centers are being set up in India in each and every education institution, so that everyone can be educated regarding this particular field. So in future you will see a great increase in the patenting and other intellectual property filing.
Right, sir. So, adding on to this point that you said that the government had introduced now very recently the patent amendment rules of 2021. So, it talked about reducing the fees of patenting resources in educational institute up to 80%. Owing that one of the sectors that you work in belongs to patent in educational institutions. What are your views on that, and how has it proven to be a landmark amendment in this field?
See, that I just told you that patented invention are there, research work is being done, but they were not getting patented. So the reason being the fees for filing patent application was high for institution also, and that's why no one was filing up. And the amendment which has been taken, I should say, this is a great amendment by the Indian government, and apart which has reduced the filing fees. So education institution are, if they are doing research, they can beneficial from this. And if they are having their own incubation center, they are doing own research, then they can commercialize their products. They can do their own research. After that, they can commercialize or license the patented products that they have created, and even they can sell their particular patents to the other companies, and this will help in generating revenue also. Creating we have been many clients have reached from the education department. They are after this particular amendment that they want to be in the patenting field, and they have a lot of invention coming up, and they want to patent so that they can commercialize, generate revenue. And this will also help them in their creating a ranking, as if you are having correct invention as a, and you can show that as that we are working this particular research work, and they're helping their ranking as an education institution. So until now, IIT are there who are having a great ranking in the number of filing of patent and inventions. So as they are having a ranking, other institutions are also working on this. So that will be helpful for them. Yes. So basically, it's regarding generating revenue, ranking in their particular market, and research work will also be enhanced by this education department. Yes.
Right. So, could you tell us a bit about in brief about the Indian patent laws for educational institutions, along with some idea that you may have with foreign laws. Is there a lacuna that we need to address, or is there something that you think is better in India and not so great in foreign countries, or vice versa?
See, in India, until now, we were not having this amendment rules were not there. But in outside India, there's no such thing. But India has come up with a solution, as in we are a developing country, so government of India is coming very different initiative. So this particular initiative has been started only in India. In China, there's no such initiative regarding the filing process for the education institution. In US, there's an option for small entities there. You are doing a small entity is there or a large entity is there, then there is a benefit. But for the education institution, there is no such benefit has been provided, and this will help in boosting the intellectual property of India. And our Indian patent is very strict about this and how the particular invention should be patented. If I talk about the laws in US and China, so in there you will find that you can easily get patent in China if you are a Chinese individual. But in India, if you are an Indian individual, it is not that easy to get an Indian patent. So you need to check all the technological advancement or all checking parameters has been defined by Indian Patent Office, which created is a very strict for the particular invention to be granted in India, and which helps. So the law in India are very strict regarding the patent than in other countries. So we are basically very strict regarding getting the particular inventions granted, and this
Right.
benefits our our technological advancement also. So mostly if we talk about like patents are filed, but they are not the technical, but they have been granted in US. But if when those particular patents are filed in India, but they will not be granted, so there are certain restrictions that are provided, and which is beneficial for our country also. So this is the main law, the differences that we have in India and US and other countries.
So there are many tie-ups that take place between various Indian educational systems and the ones outside India. Like there are exchange programs. There are students who complete few semesters here and then go outside in some other university in some other country and then complete the rest of their education there. So for someone who's working in the field of research, how do you think patenting the resources plays an important role over there, and where does one get the resources patented if the resources are used both in India as well as outside India?
See, the research work is being done in India and outside India. So it depends basically regarding how both the universities are getting interconnected between each other. So and how they have their own agreement regarding the intellectual property. And in it, and if someone is working through an education institution, so the patented invention will be for the education institution. Then it will not be for the particular researcher. So if I am a researcher, if I'm working in India, and then after, or even if I'm a researcher and working in India in education institution or rather in a company, and I've done some research in India, and after that I go to any other country, I've done some research over there, then it will be for the particular education institution or the company only. I will be as work, named as an inventor, but assigning rights will be for that particular institution or the company, and it will basically depend on how the agreement has been done between both the institutions for the particular granting of patents.
Right, sir. So, have you come across some of the something like this in your career, or some examples that you'd like to share with us? Some instances regarding patenting education institutions and all that.
Yes, we have been approached by a few education institutes, like colleges have approached us and they want to create their patent portfolio. And in this particular field, patent having a patent portfolio is very much important. So what happened regarding education, even if you are doing a simple product has been invented, so there are different aspects that need to be protected of a particular one product. So in a one particular product, you can have around 5 or 10 patents in that particular one product also. So we have been approached by few education institutions regarding how they can do the filing, how they can create their own patent portfolio, those particular based on the invention or research work that they are coming up. And we are helping them regarding this particular in field regarding the intellectual property, and we are working with them from the initial stage. So basically, what happen if you are a see law firms, they directly, like, if you are, they will be asking you for the particular invention, how you provide them with the document, they will be drafting it, they will do the filing. But we are a little bit different regarding this. So how we do is, we sit with their particular inventors, we discuss with them, we provide our own inputs in them if we have from our research team, and we take input from their side, and then we, on based on the discussion from both the parties, then we come up with how you can protect this particular invention, and how you can create a patent portfolio which will be helpful for education institution, for a startup or a company, for even for an individual having their own invention. Yes.
So this is basically the work that we have been doing all along, and this is an interesting area of law. And a lot of young students these days are interested in this field of law of intellectual property rights. So, what advice would you give them if they decide to step into this field like you did?
So the only one advice that I will give, if you are interested in this particular field, start throwing your resume on each and every law firm or a service providing firm, and you can easily get an internship over there. And you can also send your resume to us for the internship. We also do provide internship, virtual and in-office internship. And in internship, we do provide knowledge regarding how you can increase in this particular field, how you can create a growth in this particular field. And just, you have to be little more regarding, open up regarding new technologies if you want to do in the patent field. If you want to work in the trademark field, it will be easier for you if you're doing your law graduation. So just start learning, and that you will easily get into this particular field.
Right, sir. So, finally, what general legal advice would you give to any person in this profession? A general legal advice.
For someone who is for the legal advice, I will give that if you are in this particular field, uh, I will give that, just respect your client. That I have seen that people are filing patent application in India also and outside India, which has not been drafted very in the legal domain. So I will say, if you are in this particular field, just make sure that you are respecting your client by guiding them rightly, making the correct technical input, taking the correct technical input, and doing the correct drafting, which is very much important. So if your client is paying you, or even if working with you, so you need to give your 100% to them, because they are investing their time and money with you, so you should respect them. And for the in person who are thinking of joining this field, you will love this particular field. If you are surely interested, just start doing internship, going start doing taking session over there, like other sessions are there. Judicial Mascots is also providing session, if you have gone through their profile. So they are providing a lot of knowledge, so you can even join their YouTube channel for this. So that's my legal advice for them. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today. And this commitment to be on the forefront of the latest technology has helped you build a strong foothold in the dynamic of the intellectual property consultancy segment. So we are really glad to have you with us today. And thank you so much for taking out time from your very busy schedule. It was lovely interacting with you, sir, and we hope to meet you soon again. We'll definitely
Yeah,
love to
the
have
same
you.
here. Thank you very much for this calling me for this interview. I'm sure it will be really helpful for each and everyone who is doing this particular interview. Thank you
Definitely.
so much. Thank you.
For sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.